As a sports fan, I have to confess, sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
This episode is brought to you by FXX and Hulu. An all-new season of Futurama is back, blending heartfelt moments with razor-sharp humor while accidentally saving the day. The Planet Express crew is back, defying gravity and common sense. From the creator of The Simpsons comes 10 new episodes where the romance is hotter, the threats are bigger, and the action hits harder. Don't miss the all-new season of Futurama. Watch it Mondays on FXX or stream it on Hulu.
If you thought goldenly breaded McDonald's chicken couldn't get more golden, think Golder, because new sweet and smoky special edition gold sauce is here. Made for your chicken favorites at participating McDonald's for a limited time.
Tonight, turn down the noise of the day and focus on the rest with AGZ, the nightly drink for winding down and resting up. New from AG1. AGZ supports your body's natural sleep cycle with clinically studied key herbs, adaptogens, and minerals in amounts supported by research. And no melatonin, helping you wake feeling rested. Wind down, rest up with AGZ. Learn more at drinkagz.com.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. We are so excited to bring you this show.
Our podcast is all about unraveling all of your favorite mysteries from the Assassin's Creed games. Each episode we'll be talking about a different topic in the Assassin's Creed universe. From Pieces of Eden, solar flares, and the Isu, to the Hidden Ones, the Order of Ancients, and of course, the Animus. We will seek to uncover it all.
So join us and maybe even take a leap of faith.
My name is Shelby. You also know me as She-Cup, and we're back with another episode today.
Hey, I am Austin or Teacup, and yes, we are. We're back with another lore episode of the Assassin's Creed Lorecast.
So, Austin, what are we talking about today?
All right, so as we continue our series, we are doing the objective boards. So these are the side mission boards that are not the Shimbokfu from Assassin's Creed Shadows. So we didn't really do this on our last episode, but I am going to give warning, like, these are spoiler warnings. If you have yet to play Assassin's Creed Shadows, we're going to be diving deep into these quests. These are going to be full-on spoilers. I'm not holding anything back. I'm talking about the finale, what they do. So we're continuing with that today. And here's your spoiler warning for the last time. And so we're talking about the Yokai today. Did you play this one?
I did do this quest. I remember the first time we did our playthroughs, I was like, oh, did you do this one? And you're like, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. So, but I know that you've done this one since then. But this was probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, objective board in the game.
So yes, I have done parts of this one, but I have never finished it for reasons that we will talk about in the episode. So once again, last week we had one that I did, but you didn't finish. And then now we've switched. So hopefully next week we'll have one that we both did.
I am so confused already about why you didn't finish this one.
It is you're going to be mad at me.
Okay, well, so what I'm hearing is you messed it up.
No, I didn't mess it up. I chose not to finish it.
Okay, well then let's just get into it.
So the yokai is another objective circle that can be unlocked fairly quickly in the story. You get it in Yamashiro, which is one of the second area that you unlock. So you can unlock this one fairly early. It doesn't have a high level requirement, but it does require you to go to some higher level areas. So when you go to this place called Nyoji Daji Temple, you meet someone named Maumushi, and who tells you all about these mythical yokai that you need to stop. Now, we'll pause here. Yokai are like Japanese demons or Japanese spirits. They're not always malicious, but they're like spirits that can be tricksters, spirits that can they're a very spiritual term. They're a mythical being.
It's almost like they're fairy tale creatures.
Yes, very much so. Very much fairy tale creatures. Sometimes the myths vary. Sometimes they're malicious. Sometimes they're evil. Sometimes they're doing that. Sometimes they're harmless. But it just really depends on what you're reading and what gets into that. So this is like one of those moments where with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, with Origins, with Odyssey, we dove into these mythologies a little bit. This is really where we're kind of diving into Japanese mythology a little bit in Assassin's Creed Shadow. So you will need to find all 6 targets that are all across Japan. Well, all across the island that you are on. I will note that we do not go to all of Japan in the game. And so it is also worth noting that these are not necessarily simple. And they do require either perfect timing or a lot of patience.
Yeah, there's one, I don't remember which one it is, but there's one that can only be found at a certain, I think it's nighttime in the winter and fall maybe. And I had to wait a whole year before I could finish it.
Yes, exactly. And that is why I didn't finish it.
Okay. That tracks for you.
Yeah. So we're just going to get through them. And also, if you are Japanese speaking or this is your culture, please forgive me as I have tried to learn to pronounce these names and do that. But if I butcher it, please forgive me. I am trying, but I acknowledge that I might butcher some of these. So just that little disclaimer. So, the Taka Niudu, which is the first one that is really the one that you can access, is found in the Silverlands. Next to that, Silverlands text on the map in Tamba. So Tamba is in the most western part of the map, kind of before Harima, which is kind of over there. So it's another area you go to fairly early to kind of go in there. So he's at a small camp off the side of the main path heading north. This yokai has been terrorizing villagers. You can assassinate him as he is terrorizing villagers. And this is going to be a theme that's coming up later. He's not really a yokai. He's just a dude. He's a monk. And he's an imposter, and you kill him, and you're like, this was just a guy.
Yeah, you're just pretending. A lot of them are claiming the title of whichever yokai they've chosen to get the notoriety and fame that brings them for whatever reason, not because they want to be famous, but because they have some other goal they're trying to accomplish.
Exactly. And so that's a theme. So the Taka Niudo is a giant. That's basically what it is in Japanese mythology. It's a giant who grows larger the more its victims look up at it. So the more you look up at it, the larger the giant becomes. It is said it can only be vanquished when the victim shows courage and refuses to look up.
So very Medusa-like.
Yes. Except without the stone and the snakes and the...
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you defeat them by not looking at it.
Yes. The next one that we have is the Dai Tengu. So this one can be found in Harima, which is again in that kind of northern western part of the map. So this can be found at the Kakugaga estuary. Once again, this is a simple target to take down. You don't have to wait till a certain time. You don't have to do that. You just find them and you do that. This is someone who kind of patrols around and is really good at detecting you. And so it's not easy to kind of sneak up and assassinate them. If you are playing with one-click assassinations, one-hit assassinations, you can try to sneak up with them and get it in one hit. But if you're playing with how the game was intended, which is not that, which I think most Assassin's Creed fans are like, click.
I was like that for sure. I know you weren't, but I'm pretty sure I may have hallucinated this. I'm pretty sure that you get an achievement for assassinating him.
Yes, because he is not easy to sneak up on.
Well, I got it.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, because I remember I did assassinate him.
So, again, this is not the real yokai, but again, someone kind of trying to parade about as it, to terrorize people, to gain fame, to do all of those things. So the Dai Tengu, the Tengu itself is like a subtype of yokai, and so this is like a subtype of a subtype. And so this is a demon in Japanese folklore known for their pride, wisdom, and sometimes malicious nature, often featuring bird wings, but also a red face and prominent long nose, are known for their ability to control the wind and practice magic, which if you look at this person, when you look it up, their like disguise is they have two flags that kind of resemble wings and stuff like that. Are you looking up what a Dai Tengu looks like or what it is in game?
No, I was just looking at different ones of them because I didn't realize there are so many more than what they've depicted in Shadows.
Yes, a lot. Like we said, like kind of malicious spirits, demons, fairy tale characters, like things you tell like your children like behave, or the Dai Tengu will get you.
Is the Dai Tengu the emoji?
Yes, I believe so.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh. I do know what you're talking about. The red face.
Uh-huh. Technically, that emoji is not specifically Dai Tengu, but it could be interpreted that way. Okay. It's officially named the goblin emoji.
Ah, all right. So, do you have any last thoughts on the Dai Tengu?
He is the emoji to me. That's it.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
So, next is the kappa, and this one, every time I think of, I keep saying capybara, which again gets me into that TikTok sound of the Baldur's Gate theme. What is it?
Who's that bald capybara?
Exactly, and now Shelby will be singing that for the rest of the evening.
It gets stuck in my head so bad.
Yes. So the kappa can be found in the far north of Yoshimo, along the stream originating in the northwest corner of the region of Genbu Highlands. This one can only be found at night. So, prior to the newest update, which dropped today, 9/11/2025, you had to wait for this to happen. There was no way to, like, make it nighttime. You had to wait for the day cycle to proceed and do all of that. Now, with the new update, you can progress time forward.
Okay, just waiting until nighttime isn't that bad. I think it's like 16 minutes.
It was torture.
No, it wasn't. You don't know what torture is.
I'm just saying. So, when you find the kappa, you actually find some children and a bunch of bandits. And so you have to kill all the bandits before you can talk to the children. So again, not the real yokai, just children who are working for bandits who were like trying to steal things from people in the nearby village. So the kappa is a mischievous humanoid from Japanese folklore, resembling child-sized, scaly green, monkey-like human with a turtle shell, webbed hands and feet, and a beak. They have a vital, water-filled dish on their heads that must remain full for them to have power. And they are known for their love of wrestling, cucumbers, and sometimes violence.
Cucumbers seems random.
It does seem random.
However, I also love them, so I can relate.
It's also worth noting that like Japanese cucumbers is a different like variety of the plant than like the English cucumber, I'm pretty sure. Or something
No,
like
it's
that.
not.
Oh.
I mean, I think they have a different variety, but it's not like it's not a cucumber.
I mean, it is a cucumber.
It's the same thing. I think it just has smaller seeds.
Right, because that's what gets people when like if they use an English cucumber in like sushi, it doesn't work right because of all the seeds.
I actually think an English cucumber is fine. It's the ones that I don't know if they're American, but they're like the fat ones.
Yeah.
That have the big seeds. The English cucumbers have small seeds.
I guess that's true because that's what you use to make cucumber sandwiches.
Correct. I also have an English cucumber in the fridge right now to make an Asian cucumber salad. I was supposed to do that with dinner last night.
You know, people comment all the time that they love love our podcast because we stay on topic and we don't have a lot of like sidetracking. This is not one of those episodes, and I apologize to those listeners.
Okay. Let's move on from the cucumbers.
Okay. So, any thoughts on this?
I do remember being super annoyed because I don't think I did these in the order that you're presenting them, because I'm pretty sure I did the kappa second after, because there's one that's like really close to where you get the quest. And then I think I went to this one, and I remember being so annoyed that they were just little kids. And I was like, what the hell do you guys think you're doing? Like, this is not funny. I wanted to lecture them, but I did not have that dialogue choice.
Yes. I feel like Endgame Naoe would lecture them, but not that point Naoe.
That's probably fair.
All right. Well, since there are 6 and we've done 3, I think this is a natural mid-break point.
All right. Well, let's head over there.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. When you visit the doctor, you probably hand over your insurance, your ID, and contact details. It's just one of the many places that has your personal info. And if any of them accidentally expose it, you could be at risk for identity theft. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second. If you become a victim, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year at lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Disney and Pixar's Elio has a new home. Now streaming on Disney+.
That's amazing!
Critics agree. Elio is fun and full of heart and humor.
These are the lava tunnels. I am not fireproof! Just get in my mouth. Actually kind of comfy in here. It is?
It's certified fresh and verified hot.
Ta-da!
Elio's bringing the whole family together on Disney+.
1, 2, 2.5, 3!
Disney and Pixar's Elio. Now streaming on Disney+. Rated PG.
You look like the one thing in the world that Kiviatis wouldn't take to bed. Can you even see out of that thing?
Mock all you want. When those Malakas and Zakros see this beast charging towards them, they will know fear!
Let's start light. Tell me a joke.
Why must samurai always battle one another? Because there is only one way for a samurai to get ahead. Ahead. I did not say it was a good joke.
Makose! Shoot! Shoot the flying demon!
Hello and welcome to the middle of the show. This is where we take time to talk about all the things that have to do with the lore cast of Assassin's Creed and not the lore. So the first thing that we always do is shout out all of our amazing patrons. Thank you all so much for supporting us and sticking with us over this past year. We do have one more merch drop that's going to be coming at the end of this month, beginning of next month, beginning of October. So if you're interested in that and want to sign up, you can get in on that, or you can join us at any tier. Come join us on the December patron chat, which is always open to all of our patrons, or you can join us and get ready for next year's merch drops, of which there will be 4. So definitely lots of different options for you, and great way to support the show. If you can't support us via Patreon, there are other ways, such as leaving us ratings and reviews. And I do have one to read today, which comes from Watson, who commented on our Hugo Chavez episode and said, "Congrats on the little one, guys. Love this show. I recently found you guys and almost caught up on older episodes, currently playing AC Shadows. Thank you so much for listening and leaving us that review, and I hope you're enjoying Shadows." And now the last thing that I have to talk about, maybe next to last thing I have to talk about, is our Discord server. It's the best place on the internet, so definitely come hang out with us over there if you want to get all the news for Assassin's Creed and the podcast. And I didn't know, Austin, before we get back into the show, if you wanted to say anything about this newest update that has dropped for Shadows.
Yeah, so a new update has dropped today. It raises the level cap. I'm sure it is an update that is in preparation for the DLC that is going to drop literally in 5 days. And so it just does kind of lays that groundwork, some bug fixes, but most importantly, it raises the level cap to 100. And it also adds the ability to change night and day.
What was the level cap previously?
At beginning of launch, it was 60. Last update they did raised it to 80, and now to 100.
All right. Have they released like extra abilities and stuff to go along with that? Okay. I literally haven't played since I finished the game, so
yeah,
I haven't been paying attention to that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're ready to get back into it.
All right, let's do it.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
No, you're right. Let's all just screw around while the world falls to pieces.
Hey, this isn't easy, you know.
Right, like we're all on vacation out here? Enough! Look, everyone's under a lot of pressure, but we're the only ones who can stop Abstergo, so we need to keep it together.
She's right. We need to be a hive mind, people.
Anybody up for some reconciliatory yoga? Anyone?
Very funny, guys.
You have my thanks. Keep the sword, Ezio. Do I know you from somewhere? Don't you recognize me? It's me, Mario! Uncle Mario, it's been too long, Nipote. Far too long.
Malaka! Malaka! Malaka!
All right. So, we've got 3 more to go through. So, the next one is the Tsukika na Bakumano. So, this one can be found in the far north of Uzumi Setsu on the northern edge of Yowata Plains. So, this is like the first area that you unlock. And so, they're at a location called the Tsukiya Lands. They can only be found in the summer or fall. And so this isn't as much waiting, because if you're in spring, you just got to wait. Depending on what point in spring you're on, you just have to wait till summer. And if you're in summer, you can wait. If you're in summer, you're fine. Because
what's not fine is when you're traveling on the way to find this one and it changes seasons while you're on the way to this. That happened to me.
Yeah.
It changed from summer to fall.
Okay. Well, at least it was fall, so you could still get them.
No, I couldn't. You said
or
spring and summer.
Summer or fall.
Okay, well then it changed from fall to winter, whatever it was. It was like the second one for me.
Yeah. So when you reach this location, you find 2 individuals dressed in green and yellow wearing fruit on their heads. Yes, I said that right. They are wearing fruit. Speak to them and they will teach you or tell you that they have been waging war with each other for generations over melons. You need to choose whether you prefer the Suika or the Makuwari clans. Ultimately, this choice has no bearing on the quest and no bearing on the world at all. It just is who you would rather fight. And so if you choose one, you fight the other. And so you basically fight them to a standstill. Again, not real yokai, but basically you fight them, you can spare them both, and they go on their way. So this is always really funny because to me at least, in Japanese folklore, the Bakumano is traditionally a monstrous being or spirit that is characterized by its ability to change shape or transform, a concept often translated as thing that changes or shapeshifter. These supernatural entities can take form of animals, inanimate objects, or even appear as bizarre or terrifying human-like apparitions.
Interesting.
I don't really feel like with the other ones, like I feel like they're taking this in like they are imitating this from what we know of folklore, but this feels like, how are they doing this other than like them just being weird?
Yeah, I feel like this one isn't relevant. Like what's represented in game has no bearing on what it actually is, whereas the others are like, okay, well this is clearly like, okay, y'all little kids are trying to be like this fairy tale creature you've always heard of.
Right. Anyway, that was my thing. Do you remember this? I mean, obviously you waiting, and I remember fighting it and being like, y'all are stupid.
Yeah, it was dumb because they're just arguing over stupid shit that doesn't matter.
Right. And like, as Naoe, when you're doing that, you're like, okay, literally my father was just murdered.
Can we like get this party moving?
And like, the world is on fire and
you're here arguing about what?
Fruit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So the next one is the Oshiroi Baba, which she can be found at an unmarked road at night in Yamato. She is south of the Nara Heartland. Again, prior to the most recent patch, you would have to wait until nightfall if you were not already at nightfall. When you reach this location, you will see fog enshrouding the path. Keep heading south to find her by some old houses. Once you reach her location, she will fight you instantly. She's incredibly mobile, making her tricky to kill as you can't land extended combos. You basically kind of get one hit before she dances away. Thankfully, she doesn't do enough damage to be a huge threat. You will eventually land enough hits to defeat her, and then a short cutscene will play and the quest will be completed. So, the Oshiroi Baba is a face powder hag from Japanese folklore. A yokai or spirit known for her hideous appearance, often seen in snowy mountains with a bent back, carrying a sake bottle and a walking stick. While terrifying, she is generally considered harmless, though some legends portray her as a servant to the goddess of cosmetics or a variation of the Yuki Una, who we will talk about in a moment. Again, this one is not a real yokai either.
Interesting. I guess I didn't ever think that they would have like crossover, like that this one could be a subset of another one. And same for the other one that we discussed earlier.
Yeah. There's a lot, like, people a lot of times when they hear Japanese like folklore and Japanese like religion, they think about ancestor worship or ancestor veneration, and like that is such a small like subset, or they think about the dragons or other things like that. And there is just a lot of like other kinds of folklore, especially about like these wandering spirits and demons and other things like that. Like they were a very like, or not are, but like the folklore is very superstitious, very about like these spirits that affect you and like being aware and trying to ward off things that affect your mind or try to steal you or do other things like that.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, I think there's a lot in just like Japanese culture that is very communal and community minded. And so I think it makes sense for a culture like that to be considerate of like, you know, okay, these are the things that, you know, I'm doing and bringing into the world. And, you know, if you're behaving badly, that might be a negative spirit.
Yes, exactly. So any last thoughts about this one before we get to the last one?
Let's get into the last.
All right. So the Yuki Una, as I said, we were about to talk about this one. This is the last one that you find. This one can be found in Omi, specifically in the Suzuka foothills at the Kakawachi Kazaana Cave. Can only be found in winter, is what your clues say. But I will let you know that according to IGN Guide, the wiki, and some other things, she can be found at any time as long as you know where the cave is.
Really?
Yes, you just don't get a marker unless it's in winter. So that's part of it. She is not a real yokai either. Basically, you go to the cave, you fight her, and you could try to sneak up on her and assassinate her, or you could fight her or do that. But really, she is a tough boss. Like, she's the last one of this to get there.
And I did think she was the hardest.
Yes. So in Japanese folklore, this is a spirit or yokai that embodies winter's beauty and danger. She is a tall, beautiful woman with long black or white hair, pale snow-like skin, and often wears a white kimono. Though she also can appear as nude. Cowards. Ubisoft cowards. No, I'm just kidding. But she appears during blizzards, feeding off the life force of travelers she encounters, freezing them with an icy breath. While often portrayed as a dangerous killer, some legends describe her as a tragic, lonely figure who can fall in love with humans, though these relationships are always doomed by her true ageless nature.
So are all of the yokai these kind of immortal beings?
I guess they are. I mean, they're spirits, so they always have this kind of spiritual realm. Like, there are ways to, like, ward them off and defeat them. But I think there is just a general thing of, like, spirits always exist. I don't think there's, like, one. I think that they can be multiple of a type of yokai.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's just this one specifically talks about being ageless in nature. So I wonder if that's like a unique thing to her or if it kind of applies to all of them.
Yeah. I think it depends on like when the yokai comes about in Japanese culture, of what it would be my guess. I'm just guessing based on what I know about different mythologies. So my guess would it would depend as the idea of the yokai developed in Japanese mythology, them being ageless or immortal probably changed.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, well, let's get into the finale because I have some thoughts.
So, with all the targets defeated, you can return to Mamushi at the temple in Yamashiro. However, when you get there, you discover that Mamushi has been killed, and Chotse, who is one of the women that you saved from the giant, the Taka Nyodo, she is a true yokai. She becomes O Ando, another target for you to kill. And you have to fight her and do all of that. And so this is really interesting to me because a Japanese yokai or spirit, the O Ando, originated from an Edo period game. Like, so we first see this not in like folklore, but in a game that has a Japanese name, but I didn't want to try to butcher it. But I'll just tell you that it is translated as a gathering of 100 ghost tales. So this yokai appears as a demonic woman with horns, a long black hair, black sharp teeth, and a blue tinged kimono. This yokai embodies collective human terror and manifests after the final candle is snuffed out in the ghost storytelling game, representing the dangers of involving evil through storytelling. This kind of wrap up for me, especially like given the folklore behind this one, is really interesting to me because you basically play this game. And when you have snuffed out the last like fake yokai, the last candle of what the real one appears, the boss appears. Yeah. This all happens there. That's really, really good storytelling, in my opinion.
I agreed. I loved this quest. This may have been the most standout of all the quests in the whole entire game, except for maybe the one where Yasuke finally kills Duarte, and the last couple Templars. But this one was excellent. And just, I agree. The storytelling was great. It was fun. It was silly. It didn't take itself too seriously. But then at the end, it brought it back to the seriousness of the game. And I just thought it was a 10 out of 10 personally. My personal thoughts when I was playing it, I was like, I got the quest and I was like, okay, this is all going to be fake, whatever. I'll go kill these people for you. And time after time after time, for 6 times, I was like, okay, I was right. This is fake. This isn't real. This isn't a real person, whatever. And I got to the end and finished it and was like, yeah, I was right. Getting all smug, going in there to turn in the quest. And then she appears and I'm like, oh, holy shit. Like that's creepy. So that was kind of my reflection and I just appreciated it. But also I have to tell you, my first thought when I saw her was, did they just add tieflings to Assassin's Creed?
LOL.
Because she does kind of look like a tiefling.
That's really funny. That's true. She does. And I mean, like the, horns.
The nails.
Yeah. All that kind of stuff. But I just think that invoking the dangers of invoking evil through storytelling, which is like what all of these fakers and imposters are doing. They're invoking these spirits in like maybe not through storytelling, but through their own like selfish and personal gains. And so when you finally snuff it out, like this character that represents this game, I just was really impressed with this quest as yourself of like the integration of Japanese culture into this and mythology, because like I think that we kind of overdid like trying to like weave all mythologies into the Isu story or whatever. But like this was a nice kind of reprieve of like, hey, like we don't have an explanation for everything. Like this might have been an Isu something. This might have been just whatever. But this is what we did, and this is us paying homage to Japanese mythology in a way that is like fun and interesting and exploring, and is just really good.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, and that goes really back to my point of not taking itself too seriously, because I agree with you in that Valhalla especially has tied every single Norse god to a different Isu god. And to me, that makes it very confusing, and I understand why they did what they did, and I'm not hating on that at all, but I think in other games, like, we don't have to tie every god from every culture we ever visit to a different Isu god. Like, we can just have things that don't make sense, or things that maybe are minor that go unexplained. That's okay, too. that leaves us room to, write fanfics and come up with our own explanations and theorize about some of these things, which I personally think is fun. And so, yeah, it doesn't, not everything has to be explained, I think, is where I land on this one. And they don't necessarily explain everything about the ending of this quest. And so I do appreciate that.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. Do you have any last thoughts about this? Otherwise, we're ready to wrap up.
I just really loved this quest. I thought it was a blast. And I hope that they continue to do more quests like this one with these kinds of vibes in future games.
Yeah, me too. It sounds really awesome.
All right. Well, I think we're ready to wrap it up then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Well, once again, as always, Austin, thank you for doing the research and bringing it to the show. And thank you for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. You can find us on Twitter at AC Lorecast.
If you have any lore questions or topics to unpack, join our Cups Podcasting and More Discord server. It's the best place on the internet. You can also support us financially through our Patreon. Find us on patreon.com/Assassin's Creed Lorecast. The Assassin's Creed Lorecast is part of the Robots Radio Network. For more information about the Robots Radio Network, join the Discord server via the link in our episode's description.
If you enjoyed the show or learned something new today, please subscribe, leave us a review, and join the Patreon. And if you enjoyed our intro and outro music, make sure you give a big thank you to Pipeman Studios. Thank you, Pipeman. Thanks again for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. And always remember, Assassins, stay in the shadows to serve the light.
Are you a fan of Indiana Jones? How about someone who just enjoys an immersive story of historical fiction? If so, then the Indiana Jones Lorecast is the place for you. Join me, Sir Bandit, as we delve into the amazing and rich history of the Indiana Jones franchise, from the films and TV series to the novels, comics, and games. The show is available wherever you get your podcasts, so if you feel that call to adventure, you can come find me in my office. I'll see you there.